Girl, I know you need some shelter.
I just didn't understand why a couple of bands suddenly became the barometer for the whole music scene. For us, and for other bands who were not at all interested, it became maybe a little more difficult to sort of like make your presence felt, because you had to have this kind of, you had to be part of this great sort of this battle, almost take sides, you know what I mean? And you weren't interested in the fucking first place, you know. So you just got on with it and just wait for it to sort of abate. For us and for other bands who were living in Bristol, I think in the last 10 years, the most creative time, you know, of our lives, really.
Raised on a diet of broken biscuits. Oh, we don't look the same as you, and we don't do the things you do, but we live around here too. Oh, really? Misshapes, mistakes, misfits. We like to go to town, but we...
Around that time, it seemed like something was happening. It was exciting for me because it seemed like there'd been this long, you know, long period of time when things from the kind of world that I was from were considered very marginal or whatever. Well, a lot of people were considered marginal because, you know, if you lived on the dole in the kind of mid to late 80s, you were just scum of the earth, weren't you? And I suppose it was on the back of Thatcher's Britain, so you were kind of used to being this kind of marginal piece of turd. And then suddenly, piece of turd was moved into centre stage. So that felt exciting. It felt like a revolution was in progress or something.
She had a thirst for knowledge. She studied sculpture at St. Martin's College. That's what I call her eye. She told me her dad was loaded. I said my kids love woman. Coca-Cola, she said fine. And then in 30 seconds time, she said, I wanna live like common people. I wanna do whatever common people do. Wanna sleep with common people. I wanna sleep with common people like you.
That song you did, Common People, I had it described as the perfect encapsulation of the Britpop aesthetic.
Oh dear. Right.
Wanna sleep with common people. I wanna sleep with common people like you.
It was only a real story that had happened when I was at art college, and this Greek girl did say she wanted to move to Hackney actually and live like the common people, and me saying that couldn't happen because she could live in those circumstances, but she would just be acting a role because she knew that she could always escape from it.
So it started there. I said, pretend you got no money. And she just laughed and said, oh, you're so funny. I said, yeah. I can't see anyone else smiling. Are you sure? You wanna live like common people. You wanna see whatever common people see. Wanna sleep with common people. You wanna sleep with common people like me.
Working class culture was often sneered at as being crude and stuff like that, and then suddenly people maybe cottoned on to the fact that it was a bit more alive than the supposedly highbrow culture, and so were desperate to say they'd been hanging around with some, you know, I went to a great calf. It was really, you know, authentic. You should have. The cutlery was so dirty.
It's not a choice that's made for you. You don't like sort of leave school and go, it's important that I'm working class, you know, because that's just the way that I was born. I was born into a fucking life of menial fucking jobs. My dad was a labourer, my mum was a cleaner and a dinner lady, and that was it, you know. What aspirations did we have? None, you know. All we had was rock and roll.
It was an explosion, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was quite mad. And like I say, you know, they got that big that
every pub you went in or whatever, Oasis tunes were on.
But every venue in England, all of a sudden, you know, when you get that big, there wasn't any. So you'll get 3 gigs in the country out of Oasis. That's where we fill in all the gaps because they couldn't get to see them.
So when did Wonderwall start?
6 years.
96, were it? Something like that. It's a long time ago.
6 years now.
Done some fucking miles, haven't we, on road and that?
Oh, yeah.
It's a long time. We had a mad couple of years when Don't Look Back and all that were released. It was just fucking unbelievable. Probably busier than Oasis us.
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody...
What's a Wonderwall, Dave?
It's supposed to be about his bird, the song, wasn't it? Meg Matthews at the time, he wrote it for her, didn't he?
Wallface.
And she went, what? Fucking hell does that mean?
You said I've got a face like a wall.
I'm sure you've heard it all before, but you never really had a doubt. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now.
When Morning Glory came out, it got universally slated by the British press. And then it went on, you know, to do whatever it done. It was just madness. We sold more singles than people sold albums. You know. I think Don't Look Back in Anger sold well over 1 million singles. I personally think Definitely Maybe is a far better album. And for the life of me, I can't understand why in this country in particular, that when people were going to buy Morning Glory, they didn't buy Definitely Maybe. And I'd just like to say, where do you fucking get off on that? Well, you know, when you go to HMV to buy a copy of Morning Glory, you don't buy Definitely Maybe. What's that all about? You know, do you just do it to piss me off? I would... It's a source of... I could sit and think about that for hours. Have you got Definitely Maybe? And Morning... See, no, I can understand that. People are fucking weird.
Baby, are you gonna be the one that saves me? And after all, you're my Wonderwall.
When I stood at Nebworth and watched Oasis, I turned to Alan McGee and said, this is it, the battle has been won. And it seemed that throughout that time in the 80s when we were putting on bands in little clubs or doing fanzines or doing flexi-discs or records or just trying to get an article about a small band on the radio, an article on a small band in the music press or what have you, it seemed like everything that had been done was finalised at Nebworth. That's what it felt like. He was the greatest band in the world, the biggest band in the world, and for once the biggest band in the world were the best band in the world.